So the whole time on this 10-hour journey that we walked down into Lahaina and checked out the area, checking what was, it was easier to describe what was still standing rather than saying what was down, because everything for the most part was pretty much gone and wiped out, disappeared, and just left me in shock. And it, I'm a combat vet, and I like never seen anything like this. It looked like a nuclear holocaust. I couldn't believe it. We saw fire trucks that were abandoned, where you could see that they were overcome by the flames and the smoke, and they had to leave.
On August 8th, a brush fire was declared in the town of Lahaina. About 2 hours later, authorities have declared that fire 100% contained. But what the 13,000 residents didn't know is like this fire will destroy their town a couple of hours later. The question is, they used to have a sirens and they test it every first of the month at 11:45 to make sure this kind of situation don't happen. So what happened? Maui Emergency Management Director Herman Endaya made the decision to down sound the alarm because they were afraid that the people will run uphill towards the fire. What most of the citizens claim to be completely insane.
So even if we sounded the siren, it would not have saved those people on the mountainside, Mauka.
Behind me, it's where some of the citizens try to escape the flame. Some of them never make it out. Some of them burn into their car or just in the street. And this is the most horrible tragedy that happened in the last decade in the US. Today, I spoke with a combat veteran, John Kinimaka. That day, it was not in Lahaina because Lahaina had no power that day. It was here in Onukawai. And he saw from far away what happened in Lahaina. It was waiting for evacuation. That never happened. And now, he recalled to us not only what he saw that day, but the day after when he came back to that town and saw the destruction, ashes, and bodies. So let's hear the whole interview, but beforehand, go over the truth about Maui.com. If you think it was important not to only to hear the story from the citizens themselves, but for us to show you the other side of the story. So now, let's hear Mr. Kinimaka.
What happened was, about maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes after the wind, I saw several fire trucks going up Lahaina Luna Road. And what baffled me was like why they didn't have their sirens on. It was just like they didn't want to wake anybody up. And so I didn't know the severity of it. I didn't know what was going on, other than that I had to leave and I had to go look for power because we didn't have any power in our phone. We didn't have any cell service, and I just came up here trying to get cell service and trying to find a place to eat, and everything was closed, and just spent my day kind of like doing that, not knowing, only hearing rumors that, oh, the fire started, they put the fire out and now it started back up. And then when I went up on Highway 30 from up here north, maybe about 15 minutes away from where the fire was in Lahaina, I could see the smoke. And what bothered me was that it wasn't the same color of smoke that we usually see when we have brush fires. It was black smoke. I was hearing stories from people I didn't want to believe, and it wasn't until I saw the video of all these houses burning that I decided. And I had people that were slowly coming out. They were on the outskirts, but from my understanding, there was a lot of people that wanted to try to save their home. And then there was a lot of kids that were, home from school that day and their parents at working. Lahaina doesn't have very many ways, escape routes for this. The bypass could have been one, but that's where the fire started. Only way out was down Lahaina Luna. There's another one along Kahoma. not very many other ways out of that area, and it should have been evacuated sooner. The fire should have been monitored. What happened was the firemen put out the fire and apparently left. I saw the video of the fire department coming in. I saw the video of them leaving in the morning after they put it out, but it wasn't out because the wind picked back up and blew it up, and then by that time it was too late. So all these evacuees that started coming when it was getting dark after sunset were telling me these stories, and I couldn't believe it. I managed to get a friend of mine that was willing to go. A lot of people didn't want to go there. They felt that they're not going to make it in because the police are going to block the area. It's going to be difficult. And I says, you know what? I know this town. We're going to go in. And we went down there, and there was really no blockade because the police were just too busy running around trying to do whatever they had to do. And there was no life left to be saved. Not that I saw. We walked down Front Street from Kanapali, and along the way, a lot of friends that I saw, they were going to go to check on their homes. And the first home in Wahikuli, my friend Dante ran up there, and he saw that his home was gone. And we just kept continuing on, and seems like most of those houses were destroyed in Wahikuli. And then as we hit Front Street was just totally demolished. Everything was down. Everything was gone. I was just really surprised of the understaffed lack of boots on the ground and support and emergency assistance. I don't know what happened, but it was like a ghost town. Other than the fact that yes, you saw police, but the police were overwhelmed with all these bodies that they had to clean up and remove or whatever they were doing. But we did encounter a body the first when we walked through Lahaina Industrial, which was really dangerous because that place had propane tanks. And we got out of there, and 20 minutes after, they all exploded. When we got up to my house, we passed Lahaina Luna, and on the bottom of Lahaina Luna at Kapuna Street, there was a bunch of bodies right there that the police had the cadets, the recruits. I feel sorry for these young boys. Um, God bless them. They were the ones that were picking up these bodies, and there were other bodies on the outskirts, and they're just like laying there and nobody attending to them. And it was really sad. But you could see that a lot of these people, their bodies were like they were probably blinded because that black smoke and the strength of the wind was causing so much debris and fiery smoke, and I'm sure like people lost their sight before they lost their breath. A lot of smoke inhalation. Um, so the whole time on this 10-hour journey that we walked down into Lahaina and checked out the area, checking it was easier to describe what was still standing rather than saying what was down because everything for the most part was pretty much gone and wiped out, disappeared, and just left me in shock. I'm a combat vet, and I like never seen anything like this. It looked like a nuclear holocaust. I couldn't believe it. We saw fire trucks that were abandoned, where you could see that they were overcome by the flames and the smoke, and they had to leave, letting people know that we're going to be here. And we started with the water, then we got a tent, and we just says, you know what, we're gonna organize. There's a lot of people in this park made up of all these different ethnicities. We've got the Mexicans, we've got Tongans, we've got Caucasians, we got Hawaiians and Filipinos, and we all came together as one, and we're able to organize and strategize. And I'm from this town. My kids had all of their birthdays right here in H Town. We call it Honokowai Strong, H Town Strong.
Because you've been in the military, I want to know your side about the siren didn't go off. It seems like there were not that much presence of police. What do you think about the response of emergency from Maui and the county?
Basically, no response, no National Guard, not much help. The only ones that were helping from the county, there was a group of convoys that was coming from the mayor's office, but it wasn't like any like military official type FEMA Red Cross response. I kept looking up saying like There's helicopters, but when are they going to land? When are they going to drop us supplies? Because the military can drop supplies. They have what is called water buffaloes. Our water was contaminated. There was a water buffalo sitting up there by the post office in Wahikuli. Like, why couldn't we get that here? Things are going to change. We're going to have an after action review. We're gonna find out what went wrong. We're going to cover so many areas. That's all we do is we think about and talk about. Right now, our focus is to continue to make sure that everybody's being fed, everybody's getting the resources they need, everybody's getting their massages, they're getting their housing, they're getting their Wi-Fi. We're just gonna make sure that everybody's happy and can come here and heal together. We still don't know what losses we're gonna suffer as far as life and everything else can be replaced. And my heart goes out to the families that lost their loved ones. My heart goes out to the families and everybody that lost their loved ones. And I already did. You know, my family is okay. I've lost a lot of friends already, and a lot of friends are missing. And this should never have happened, and it will never happen again as long as we can stop this from happening again. We need to heal and build Lahaina stronger than it ever was. And we need to have a fire station up there. We need to have like training for wildfires center up there, and we need to have water. The water's being diverted. It's all brown. Maui needs to flourish. You know, all the water's going to the hotels and the resorts, and everything's being diverted. They have droughts. They say, oh, you can't use your water, but they just need to open up our water and let us restore our Hawaiian kingdom. Lahaina is the capital of the Hawaiian kingdom, and now it's gone. And there's a lot of lands that need to be returned back to the Hawaiian kingdom, and we can take care of ourselves. And we show the government, we show FEMA. We call ourselves Kanaka FEMA. Kanaka means Hawaiian. We are Kanaka FEMA. FEMA didn't come for us. We are the FEMA. We are the ones, our community. I can't thank everyone enough for all of the support that we got. My love goes out to everyone that helped us, and just pray, keep praying, and keep action, keep busy, stay focused, get rest. And I love it, all of you. Thank you for helping.
And I just want to know, like, now you lost your home. Where are you staying? What are you doing right
There's
now?
so much support. I've been offered to stay in condos and hotels, but I choose to stay right here. I want to be a part of the solution and helping and keeping things organized and just being here. Whether other people come in, it's not about who's in charge. We're all in charge. We all have a responsibility. We all need to communicate. It's just that a lot of people here, this is my town, and a lot of people that were in the convoys, they knew me, and I'm pretty vocal. We have a lot of alpha males, and I saw all the alpha males came out that day, and I was able to bring everybody together. The Mexicans played a big role in this park, helping us with the labor and moving stuff and unloading and loading. My heart goes out to them. The Tongans too came to help us load and unload and provide security, and everyone, like, doesn't matter what race you are, we all came together. Very interesting how it all came together and worked out. How people that never talk to each other, there's people in this town that never. So this is bringing our community together. There's a lot of love, trying to keep people focused. Too early to talk about conspiracy theories. At the end of the day, we just need to continue staying busy and making sure that our people are provided for, and the work is being done, because we're not going to wait for help. We're going to help ourselves. The help is here. The help is coming. And it didn't come from the government. It came from our own people, our community.
My other question will be, like, what is your thought on the federal Joe Biden government, like, providing $700 by householder? What is your thought about the response of the federal government?
Um, well, the response, like, on paperwork, as far as that goes, I mean, I guess anything, any help is going to help. That's just like down the road kind of thing. But The help that we really needed was first responders. You know, a lot of people would have starved if it wasn't for the community stepping up and being a part of the solution. It was just really sad that we were waiting and waiting and waiting, but we didn't wait idle. We waited, but we kept busy. We kept moving. We kept the supplies, social media. We had these people come set up our Wi-Fi, portable Wi-Fi signals and whatnot. I think that there, there's some other things that I don't really want to talk about right now because I feel that's something to come up later on how we can get better prepared for our and responding as a community, as volunteers, so we can be more organized and better. I have a lot of plans where we won't have this kind of chaos if we can just get organized and get the funding that we need. So as far as whatever the government is doing to help people, that's a wonderful thing. Everybody needs help, whatever help they can get. I'm not sure like if I answered your question, but for me, like, money is money. People were upset with me, for talking to Oprah Winfrey, and she asked me what we needed. I told her what we needed. But I'm gonna ask anybody, to send help, send healing, whatever it takes. And right now it's not time for politics and conspiracy theories. We're still healing. We're still like, we might get another storm. Who knows what the weather will do? But we just need to be more precautionary than reactionary. Thank you.
We are here in Maui because we think that it was important that we show you the other side of the story, to give the platform to the people to share their own experience. If you think you too that it was important we were there, please go over thetruthaboutmaui.com. On this website, you can offset our travel expense by a donation, and you can also watch our report. Thank you in advance for every dollar, because without you, we cannot do it.